Hey guys, it's Billbox here, and welcome back to another video of Aviassembly. It has been 2 weeks since we played this game. Hard to believe. I've been trying some other things out on the channel, so I haven't been playing this as much. However, today, or actually a few days ago, Aviassembly released its first major update since launch, and we're going to be looking over that today, guys. So I'm gonna load, instead of going to our normal save to go test this, I'm actually gonna load into a sandbox with infinite fuel, just for a little bit, because I want to show you guys something, and it's gonna be on a flat terrain. By the way, the menu's also been redone, so now it looks a lot cleaner. Alright, start game. So, let's see, they added a few new cockpits to the game here. So we have two new ones. We got this one, which kind of looks like a traditional small plane engine, or single prop engine, or dual prop engine. No, single prop I think is what it would be. And then this one, which also looks pretty good. So we can check the drag on these actually. So the drag on this one looks pretty darn good. I mean, you got just a tad bit up there and a little bit at the nose actually, but it shouldn't be too major unless you're trying to go very fast. So that's gonna be one of them. And then we have this one here, which obviously if we don't put anything on the front, however, it looks like the windshield has quite a bit of drag, so this is not going to be a body you really want to go at high speeds with, probably. Obviously, if I put a cone onto the front of this here, I believe it's this one we got to do. Yes, I got to make these corners. If I make these corners boxy here, ooh, still doesn't quite line up. That's interesting. Huh, okay. That's a very interesting thing. It doesn't quite line up. Okay, how about if I do that? Still. It also does not seem to want to let me, oh, there it goes. I don't know what was wrong with it. Okay. So if you do something like that and then you took down the front and you resized it, obviously you still have that little nub on the front because you can't shrink it any smaller than that. But aside from that, looking at the actual cockpit body, this is kind of what you'd be dealing with. Now, of course, you can fix that if you make this longer. Then it looks like you can get a good drag, but still, this windshield really messes that up. So this will probably be something that you could probably unlock earlier in the game, I'd imagine. It only also holds 20 cargo and has one weight. So it is a little bit lighter than the standard cockpit. So here, just for test purposes, actually I shouldn't have done that. I can't rewind it. Okay. I'm going to bring this cube out, and we're actually going to build a small vehicle with it. Because I do want to test the drag on actual speed. So I'll show you guys what we're going to do here in a minute. Yeah. I also want to keep the weights very similar, because I want this to be a fair test between the two cockpits to see which one's faster. Okay, 30 weight, or 2 weight and 30 cargo. The only thing is, yeah, that does weigh 1 weight as well, so that should be pretty good. And then I'm gonna strap a rocket engine to the back of it, and I'm gonna leave the drag of the rocket engine. Or should I? No, you know what? I am gonna take 2 jet engines, and I'm gonna push them inside the cockpit. Oh, that is not what I meant to do. And I want to see what the difference in speed is going to be. Obviously, this is why I turned on infinite fuel. Alright, I will need some landing gear. I'm going to do all this with the other one as well. Alright, so 4.4 is our weight. So we need to remember that for the next one. Okay, let's get going here. So what's our top speed going to be with 2 jet engines? We're climbing pretty darn fast. It does handle very well. However, I think it will, when it comes to top speed, I think it will make a big difference. 5,000. This is the point where the drag should really be starting to affect the thing. Yeah, look, we just started slowing down a ton. Now we're only going to, probably I'd give it 7,500 reasonably. Maybe a little bit farther. I'm going to wait here and I'm going to see. Alright, so it looks like we're probably going to top out around 8,500. I think that's a very reasonable guess. Maybe 8,510 or so, but we're slowing down a lot. Alright, I'm going to call it an 8,500 because it is just so slow at this point. So, okay, we're going to say 8,500. 86 at the best. Let's delete this now. Let's get the new cockpit. Okay, it weighs 1. It does have a little more cargo, but the weight is the same. The weight is what I care about. I need 4.4. However, I do need to place these down and the engines down first, so that I will know. That'll tell me. Alright, nice thing about this is it's so large I can just stuff the cockpits in like this. So yeah, we just need 1.0 more weight. So if I go like this, that's 4.8, 4.3, 4.4. Okay, that's roughly the same exact weight we had before. Alright, let's give this a test here. Off the bat, honestly, I kind of want to say we're not accelerating as fast. Handling wise, I mean, it's not going to really make a difference, you know. The physics of the game are the physics of the game. However, for me, it seems like the controls got inverted. I don't know why that's a thing, but I had to go look back in the settings to try and rectify. However, we are looking pretty good. By the way, I want to take note and mention that the drag significantly increased our top speed. We are still cruising past 87, 88. We're going to break 9,000, no problem. We'll probably break 10,000 with this, with the 2-jet engine. So, if you were wondering which cockpit, which of the new cockpits is going to be better for aerodynamics wise, obviously by looking at the thing, or the chart, or the aerodynamics test thing in the build menu, you would know that this would be better, but it's such a crazy amount. It just goes to show just how much drag is going to affect these vehicles. Yeah, 10,000 easy. I'd give it 11,000 honestly. Maybe 10.5. Let's go with 10.5. I'll say 10.5 is very reasonable. Okay. All right, let's go back to the edit plane because there's another feature that they added. So I'm going to delete this all. I'm gonna load a. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh no, I'm in the beta. I also forgot to mention that if you want to play this new update, you're gonna have to enroll yourself in the beta. Which how you do that is if you have it on Steam, you can go to Steam and go to the properties, and it could you can change between installed versions from normal to the beta, or to the experimental branch. I'm sorry, this is the experimental branch. You'll have to switch over to the experimental branch because the dev was still working out some bugs. So this is not on full release yet. So let's grab this cockpit because we need to test out another new item in the game. I'm just going to do that much. I'm going to stick 2 jet engines on the rear, push them in for maximum efficiency. I'm going to do... well, I need a wing that can handle it, so let's just do delta wings, okay? So they added something called air brakes to the air brakes. They added air brakes pretty much is what I'm trying to say. So actually I need to do one of these. So we're going to test that out here in a moment. So pretty much what air brakes are going to do is they're going to be a new faster way of slowing down. You know, you have the parachutes and all that. So let's wait till we get up to, what is it? Let's wait till we get up to, are we going to be able to get up to 3K? And then I'll turn off the throttle back. And up, throttle back. So we seem to be going about 100 speed a second, 100 miles an hour. We're decreasing in speed a second. So that is not great, honestly. That is not. So let's go back to the menu now. Yeah, 100 a second is not that great. So if we go to this tab here, we have the air brake. And pretty much what the air brake is going to do, which I've actually never experimented with this, is it's going to allow you to put these on your plane and, oh, you can't configure it. When you slow down, similar to how the parachutes deploy, I imagine it's going to deploy the air brakes. And we're going to see, I only put 2 of them on here, but I want to see how big of a difference it's going to make. So again, we're going to wait up till 3,000. Alright. And 3,000. Slow down. Oh yeah, we just doubled the speed at which we are slowing down. It seems like though the slower we get, the less effective it's going to be. So it's going to be more effective the faster you're going. So parachutes will probably still be required for some setups. However, if you're speeding up and you have to make a very quick stop and you're going really fast, these will be really nice to help you get down to those lower speeds to where your parachutes can actually do more work better. So that is pretty nice. That will make some setups, especially on the, if you remember my campaign, how we did some of the missions on the campaign world. We're using very fast vehicles. These would have been nice for when we were doing the very fast speeds, because the parachutes, they kind of fall off when you're going very fast. But they are really good when you're going slower. So, okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that's pretty much it so far. Oh, no. Before BuildBox messes up, we have the new prop fan engine. A new engine has made it to the game. So it weighs 1, it produces 25 thrust, it has 3 fuel consumption, and 0.4 electricity generation. This is comparable to the the small jet engine that has 1 weight, same weight as this, 25 thrust, 4 fuel consumption, and the same energy generation. So this actually is like the jet engine, but with less fuel consumption. Okay, hold on. Let's get rid of all these. Let's put one of these prop fans up on top, like that. I'm not going to worry about drag or anything like that. I just want to see how fast this is going to get us. Because it's got less fuel consumption, it should last us longer. So I imagine it's going to be identical to a jet engine, except in the sense it's going to use less fuel than the jet engine. So you know what? We need to go to the normal branch to test this, because we need to test how fast our fuel is going to run out. Okay, so now we're going to test it a different way. So let's go to a new game. No. Oh, that's new. They added a new mode. Oh, I didn't even realize that was in the patch notes. But yeah, they added a new mode. So standard mode, relaxed mode, no timers. That's nice. No fragile cargo, which is nice. And higher rewards. So that's kind of, you just want to relax, right? You don't want it to be more intensive. All right, so here we are back again. I turned off unlimited fuel, so now we can test. I did try and load up my campaign save, but I figured out that on the experimental branch, your old saves don't transfer over, at least for now, until this update comes out onto the normal branch for everyone else to play on their normal worlds. However, we're going to test fuel consumption here, so I want to see how fast we're going to run out of fuel here. So I want to see what speed we get up to is what we're going to track, because I can't obviously track it, or I can actually. Let's see, how many cubes can we make it? We're about halfway, and we made it about 6 cubes. Or 5 cubes, not counting the starting base cube. Okay. So, let's see. I don't know. I want to make sure I time it perfectly. So, when we hit the ground, I want to test how much. And I'm just leaving it at the same angled up degree. So I'd say probably about here. So whatever cube this is. So pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We're going to call it 25. I do not want to quit. We need to go back to the base now. So 25 cubes are, I guess that would you could kind of call that a square mile or a square kilometer, wherever you're from. So let's go back to our edit plane here, and let's get rid of this, the turboprop or the prop fan engine, and let's put this on. The main thing is what I'm trying to figure out is whether or not this is going to be better than the actual jet engine itself. So again, we're going to go up here, and oh wow, we burn fuel so much faster, so there's no way we're gonna make it as far. Oh my goodness. Let's see, what are we? 4 cubes in and we're already, oh my gosh, this is gonna be huge. And okay, We made it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 11. So the prop fan engine, it has pretty much the same speed as the jet engine, except it is a jet engine, but better is what it is. It's a jet engine, but better. So let's check really quick on what research tree it's going to be on. So yeah, it's going to be on the bottom tree here. Instead of going for the jet engine, you're going to want to go for the small propeller, the turboprop, and then the prop fan, and then of course it will lead into your electric stuff. So honestly, I'd say that's worth getting, especially for some of the missions in the snow biome and the mountainous biome. That would be very nice, especially with the lower fuel consumption and the same power. So there's another thing we also have to test here. So guys, that's about it for this new update. Now that I'm looking through, making sure I didn't miss anything, checking the patch notes, I think there was some quality of life changes. However, nothing major, nothing really we need to check out. I will post a screenshot here of what the patch notes, the full patch notes on the Discord are. But that's pretty much it for, I think, what our first update is. So if you guys think this is a good update, comment down below. If you think it's a good update, comment down below. If you think it's a bad update, comment something that you didn't like about it. Pros and cons, I want to hear it all. Suggestions, all that. Another thing we do actually have to do though, is they added another feature into the game really quick. If I just put, a simple wings on my thing. We have a setting up here now next to the paint that allows us to add decals to our plane. This is pretty cool, and it does respect the mirror function, so you can mirror these decals onto both sides of your plane. So this allows you to use shapes and all that to just kind of create an interesting, I guess, decals on your plane, which is pretty darn cool. I don't know how the rotation mechanism works, but it's kind of weird. All right, let's do that. And okay, I'll call that. So you could do some cool decals with this. You could probably make some. That's just another neat feature they added into the game. And with that, guys, that is all the new updates on Aviassembly. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below, and I will catch you guys all in the next one, or in the next Aviassembly video we do, which will probably be, I'd say, a week away, once a week. So I know it was a shorter episode, and it's been a while since we did an Aviassembly. However, there's not really that much I could do with Aviassembly. We completed the campaign, and besides just sandbox building, if you guys want to see more sandbox building, let me know down in the comments below, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Whoop!